Welcome to part 5 in my series on the work of the Queen Sawapaa Memorial Institute, or Bangkok Snake Farm. Today's clip features venom extraction from Malayan kraits, also known as blue kraits. The fangs of this species are very small, and therefore the venom is not extracted in the same way using a funnel that we saw in the previous clips. Instead, a tiny capillary tube is used, and because this is delicate work that can only be viewed close up, the blue kraits do not form part of the live venom extraction shows. We've already seen venom extraction from the enigmatic king cobra and the highly feared Malayan pit vipers, and the monocled cobra will be the subject of the next clip, but it is this species that has the strongest venom among Thai snakes. As a contrast, it is thought that Malayan pit vipers have a fatality rate of between 1 and 2%, whereas these blue kraits are around 50%, even with treatment. Quite astonishing. Fortunately, not only are they usually only active a few hours after dusk, but they are also seldom inclined to bite. And from what I've heard, it is thought that most bites occur when people sleeping on the ground accidentally roll onto one of these snakes in the night. Here we see the venom entering the capillary tube, quite clear and very fluid compared to some of the other venoms that we have seen. And now on this side, that tiny fang is coming loose. This is not unusual in snakes, and the snake will grow a replacement. Incredible to see just how small that is, but it is enough to deliver the krait's lethal venom. Nonetheless, the vet here is still probing in the sheath that was surrounding that fang, hoping to still extract some more of this precious venom. We have seen a few times now that he gently massages the snake's venom glands on the top of the head to encourage a greater discharge. What a fascinating line of work. But as we can also occasionally see from the vet's right forearm, this kind of work is not without its dangers. I have a feeling that this next snake may be new to the snake farm. It's quite a big one. And just look at the amount of venom that gushes into the tube. Good grief. Just imagine the damage that could do. You will notice that what appear as black bands on this snake are only actually present on the upper dorsal surface and flanks. They do not continue around the lower ventral surface as hoops, as they do in the banded krait. And so in this species, the ventral surface is uniform white along its length. Also, you may occasionally notice, as the snakes are being handled, the enlarged hexagonal scales on the very top of the vertebral ridge. This is an essential key for distinguishing this species from some non-venomous wolf snakes, most notably the Malayan banded wolf snake, whose mimicry of this krait can be astonishing, but which lacks those enlarged scales along the center of the back. Actually, the vet was suspicious of this snake from the start. He appeared to think that the posterior third of the body looked a little larger than normal, so he is now probing for the cause of that. It seems that he is not sure if the snake is gravid, that is, carrying eggs, or has some kind of internal growth. So he makes a note for this one to go for an X-ray. As with other Bungarus species, the venom of the blue krait is neurotoxic, which means that it attacks the nervous system, causing nerves and muscles to stop working, including those involved in respiration. This will lead to death from suffocation in many cases, typically within 12 to 24 hours after envenomation. These kraits feed primarily, but not exclusively, on other snakes, as well as the normal fare for so many snake species of frogs, rodents, and lizards. There seems to be some conflict about the size of this snake online, some sources listing the maximum size as just over 1 meter, with others going up to 160 centimeters, which I believe is more likely. I feel sure I have seen specimens well over a meter in length. The blue krait is found throughout most of Southeast Asia and has been found in all parts of Thailand, except at higher altitudes. However, the phylogeny of this group is known to require more work, and at the very least it may be that what has historically been called blue krait here in Thailand may actually be two almost indistinguishable species. Thailand is known as the land of smiles, but could just as easily be called the land of ghosts. We have many species of those elusive creatures here, one of which is called the widow ghost, and her mode of operation is to kill a young man in the night to take away to be her husband. She is sometimes implicated when a man dies suddenly in his sleep with no apparent signs of injury or trauma, and one compelling theory to explain this is a bite from a blue krait, whose fangs are so small that they leave no easily detectable mark, and the venom of which doesn't cause swelling around the bite site.